I think everybody talks about the energy that New York has, and just walking around, you just feel it.
Yeah.
Right. And especially as an artist, it probably means something a little bit different to you. But I'm curious as to as you're walking around here, you come up from Atlanta, as you're walking around New York, what's going through your head as you're seeing all these different things and different environments in the city?
Man, it's like inspiration, bro. It's just like seeing this different, a crowd of people, like everybody, it's not like Atlanta, bro. It's like it's a huge difference with just like the culture out here, the food and shit. So man, every time I come out here, I get inspired. Most definitely, the music, the artists out here, everything. I fuck with New York. I'm trying to get out here actually, like see a 6-1 lease out here and just go crazy, bro.
So
definitely.
When you say it's different than Atlanta,
Yeah.
how does it differ? As they're both big cities, and Atlanta has a huge music scene, obviously.
Yeah,
it's got a lot going on right now, which we'll get to. But as someone who lives in Atlanta versus coming here, how does that differ?
Man, I feel like Atlanta is like when you in Atlanta, it's just always go mode, like go, because it's like it's so competitive. Like you're saying, there's a lot of amazing artists out there, so it's just like I'm always in this like work mode. But when I get to New York, I feel like more just like inspired, like just. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Creatively, you know what I'm saying? I just really fuck with the space. I just fuck with it out here, honestly, bro. It's a more like chill flow vibe to where I can just move, at a certain pace type shit. But
it'd be neat coming out here because I think you could expand into different audiences too, especially with probably being so centered around Atlanta.
Yeah.
Come into a space like this that has such a huge market for the type of music that you make. It'd probably be really neat and for you to find something out here and be able to spend some more time up here.
Hell yeah. Nah, I locked in with a couple like some fire like producers and artists out here already, like since I've been out here. So it's just been tough, bro.
Yeah. When you talk about Atlanta being competitive, like I hear you say that, and I'm fully aware of it. I think everyone is how much music is coming out of Atlanta and the sounds that are coming out of there. So as an artist, like how do you feel about so many different people trying to make it in this one lane? Because it must be really difficult for you to see all your peers doing all these different things, feeling like you have to separate yourself. What does that feel like being an artist there?
Man, it's like, man, you gotta have like competitive nature. And like I always say, it's like, man, in Atlanta, it's like hard. Just being hard, it's not good enough because like everybody hard. You know what I'm saying? Now you just gotta get to that point where it's like undeniable. So I'm always trying to work towards that. This undeniable point, like, oh, nah, he got it, like he got this shit for sure, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but nah, it is extremely competitive, bro. But like, I love competition. Like, I love, you know what I'm saying? I hate feeling like someone outworking me. So I'm always gonna make sure I put in the hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Does it feel like a competition to you when you're making music and when you're when you think about your career in general and being an artist? Does it feel like a competitive environment, or you're just making what you want to make and sort of zoning out your peers, or is it really a competition based thing for you?
The rap game always gets compared to like sports a lot. So sports is competitive, bro. Like I feel like the same shit with the rap. Like even if it's just subconsciously, like you might see, you know what I'm saying, an artist like even that you support. You know what I'm saying, like just doing something. I'm like, okay, now I gotta get on my shit too. Now, like you know what I'm saying, just in that nature, like.
Yeah,
but it's mad love for like any Atlanta artist. Like I love all artists from Atlanta, bro. It's like, cause it's like, man, we trying to push this whole. We've been on like a 20-year run. I feel like,
for real,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like even contributing to that, it's like means a lot to me.
Yeah,
most definitely.
All your peers that sort of surround you down there. Do you think it's something that is, you talk about competition, and I think a lot of people sometimes view it as a negative thing, or at least like, oh, this person's getting more attention than me, and I feel like I deserve this and that, right? Which you see a lot of envy and jealousy and stuff like that. But do you feel like you push each other and your peers? I don't know who you're exactly close with in the Atlanta scene like that, but do you feel like you draw inspiration from these other people and you guys are able to push each other?
No, we most definitely push each other with it, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you slacking on your shit, you know what I'm saying? That's when a lot of niggas gonna pass you up, right? That's when that competitive nature comes into play, like. But at the end of the day, you always want to see like your peers like succeed and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it's enough for everybody to get it out here. Most definitely. But they definitely keep me pushed. Like when I seen some of my artists like peers like try some hard shit, I'm like, okay, let me go back in the booth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me keep going crazy Type shit. Most
and everybody sort of supports each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little bit more about sort of you being in New York here, and I know you had your show last night at SOB's first show in New York.
Yes, sir.
A venue like SOB's has so much history to it, and so much. I mean, you walk out there and you see the big sign of all the artists that have performed there before you, the Weekends and Drakes but
legendary
Post Malone, like all the biggest artists on the planet.
Yeah.
Have been there. So when you walk into that space and you're walking into the venue, what was going through your head as you see that and sort of go in there for your first show?
Man, I was more so just like soaking it all in, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? The night before I went back and just like watched a lot of my favorite artists like that performed there, like Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying? All they first performances, Cardi and all them, like, so it's like, man, it was like an amazing feeling. Just like damn, I'm walking in this bitch, I'm about to turn this shit up, like, you know what I'm saying? So no, that shit was clutch. That shit was smooth.
Like the rest of them, yeah. Is it so you go in there and you see that, that sort of list of people. Do you think do you feel any type of pressure to live up to some sort of expectation? Being in front of a crowd like that in any sense is like there's got to be some sort of pit in your stomach or some sort just maybe butterflies before it starts or anything like that. Do things like that bother you, or is it something that's very just natural to you and it's never really?
Nah, I mean, I definitely be getting I get nervous sometimes, but for some reason, like performing, it doesn't really faze me too much. Cause like in my mind, like I'm picturing this shit, I'm trying to have this shit so grow so large. Like when I say the colony, like my supporters, bro, it's like I always I looked up like how many ants are in a real colony. Like the average colony is like they said like 100,000 ants for colony. So I say as this shit grow, I'm trying to have like a real colony, like so we all move as a unit. You know what I'm saying? So. Now I always been thinking big. That's probably why it doesn't really. Yeah.
A lot of people. I feel like a lot of the people that I've talked to and people I've interviewed have this sort of knack for the stage. Yeah. And everybody, like, not a lot of people say that or at least thus far, have said that they get really nervous on stage like that. It just seems like something really natural for you, even though it's your first show. It seems like something that just sort of, fits you, and it's like you're meant to be there. Yeah,
most definitely. Yeah, because I just know it's like, so this, when it comes to the artistry, it's another way I can express myself. Like my artistry, this, as far as the stage design or extras on stage or even this like makeup design. Like I just want to keep bringing my world to the to the performance, lead the people with like an experience, because that's all my favorite artists do the same. You know what I'm saying?
So it seems like it's really important for you to not just the music, but the sort of aesthetic as a whole.
Oh yeah, most
seems really important. And what I think come to appreciate too in your music is like it's more of an art form than just like an artist dropping a sound. Shit. It's you have Bagman over here, obviously. You have the whole like aesthetic going on.
Yeah, man.
And even from the album cover, which we'll talk about here, it really feels like a whole, sort of unit of artwork versus just music. And where does that love for that aspect of it, because not every artist do it, and there's artists like Tyler and people who really have built this sort of fan base that appreciates all the different aspects they're in. So where did that stem from for you, or maybe how has it always been important for you to incorporate that into your music?
Yeah, man, it's always been important, like, to incorporate that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's what always drew me in. Like, when my favorite artists do that shit, like Tizo, like you said, like a Tyler, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, this shit's drawing me in, bro. So I know even early on, like, I wanted everything I do, I just wanted to bring my own world to it, build my own world. And it's like, and my damn chin hitting the fucking mic, bro. but yeah, it's just always been extremely important for me to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's inspiring. I think it's just mad inspirational. Like, it's just like, cause I got inspired a lot by artists above that performing that did the same shit. So yeah.
I think drawing in is a really good way to phrase it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like, I feel drawn into to certain projects, to certain artists, just in general.
Yeah.
Through this, just the whole, from the rollout to how they're rolling out the music for a project, for an EP, the visuals behind it, everything. Yeah. What do you think it is about that draws you in, just you in particular, in you know, as a fan of music and a fan of other people's music, what speaks to you?
Man, this creativity, like seeing shit that I've never seen before. Like anytime I see an artist do some shit I've never seen before, I'm like, wow, like yo, this is insane. Like I never seen, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like that creativity over shock value now, because I feel like a lot of artists just try to do the shock value type, you know, wave of it now. But I feel like, man, this creativity is like, that's the in the long run, that's the way to do it, because like you gonna form your own lane doing this shit like that, just trying to be as different as possible, you know what I'm saying, your own way.
Was that something that started from the beginning of your career when you first started making music? Was it always you knew you were gonna have this sort of persona and this aesthetic around your music, or was it something that you sort of developed as time went on here?
Man, I started off with a diss track. Somebody had dissed me, so that's actually how I started making music in high school. Somebody dissed me, and I had to, you know what I'm saying, I had to respond on some shit, and then like the school was fucking with the response, so it's like that's what really told me to keep going, like, cause I found out I was nice, but that's how I started making music, bro. Yeah.
So you dropped your first project in 2019?
Dropped a little EP, Yep, sure did. Called Bug Vibes,
Yep. And fast forward to now, 2025, you just dropped this EP. Which I thought really it felt like an evolution for you. Like it felt like, I don't know if you felt like that, but in me listening to it and going through it, it really, you know, I've been listening to your stuff for a while and always felt like you were ahead of, you know, your time in the sense of it feels really polished. I think a lot of people are still trying to find their sound, and maybe you are still, but I think you really have a good like basis for who you are as an artist.
Thank you.
But I think in this project in particular versus the last ones, it feels like there's just like new confidence, I think, in your voice and in who you are. Would you agree with feeling like that?
Most definitely.
And why is that? Where's that come from?
Man, it's just like it's just the title and the project. The project as whole just inspired me. Like, you know what I'm saying, I really wanted to just go crazy sonically. Like and you know, Y'all Ugly, it's like man, that's like 8 songs narrowed down from like 300, 400. Me and Frank got so many songs, bro.
Wow,
Frank, so executive produced by Frank Stacy, by the way, for Y'all Ugly. He's based in LA, man. He's fire producer, bro. Like but we narrowed down like 300 songs down to 8, bro. So it was just important for me to be cohesive, you know.
What's that process like of narrowing it down from 300 to 8?
Man,
that's not even like 20. That's a huge jump from 300.
It's a lot of car rides, man. Just listening, canceling shit out, adding shit to files. Y'all familiar with the app Untitled, right? Yeah. Like that app has been helps me a lot just to structure my shit. You know what I'm saying? I can move shit here, move shit there. But it took months, days, like years, really, to like sharpen it down, so like
something
to get
that was going
cohesive.
on for a while.
Most definitely.
It wasn't something just thrown together. And was it something that was made with intent, with like you knew you were gonna do this EP, or was it songs that you've sort of made and then pieced together to put together the EP, the project?
So I always like to start off with when I'm making a project, I always like to start off with the concept. So it's like, I think I had the concept first, and then started like building the pieces around it with the production when bro was sending me beats and shit. So
you talk about the car rides and listening to it in the car rides,
which
I think is relatable for a lot of people, especially, I mean, for myself too. I think either it's headphones or in a car where you're listening to the best music, where you're really like, when I listened to your album, I was in the car and I was like, because when you really want to lock in on something and try to like appreciate it for everything it is and really understand an album, it's like I feel like there's 2 ways to listen to it, and it's one of those 2 ways.
Yeah, most definitely.
But you're a car type of person to listen to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, man, I just like to ride around. Like sometimes I take the long way home, bruh, just to hear more music. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing with me, like when music's playing, like someone's talking to me and there's even music playing in the background, I can't even focus on like what the fuck someone's saying to me. I'm hearing music, you know what I'm saying? So my ears are always just drawn into music no matter what I'm doing. I'm trying to listen to some shit, like, but nah, like car rides, bro. Bump through the whole catalog, bro. Let's go through the unreleased and shit. see what I'm fucking with, start trying to plan out shit like, oh, we should shoot this one next, or maybe we should shoot this one. Like, it's just constant ideas, bro, on these car rides and shit. But
so you seem really inspired by not. I mean, we talked about being here in New York and you know, being around all this sort of creativity and just stuff going on. Yeah. But as far as like, we talk about the car rides now and sort of things like that inspiring you, and just really, it seems like you take inspiration from so many different areas.
Yeah, no, most definitely, bro. Like, I'm inspired by, like, even if it's just not music, like even movies or cartoons or video games or whatever. I'm always looking for inspiration in that way, type shit. Yeah, I can, like, you know, improve the sound or whatever, the visuals or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and you've always been like that, or is it something you sort of developed as you've grown older?
I mean, yeah, it's some. I feel like I've always been like that, but you know, you get better at it as the years, like repetition. Like, even with music for me, like when I'm cooking all these, like last month I made 100 songs. Like, it's just like the repetition of this shit. When you do something over and over, you eventually gonna like craft your own sound, bro. So it's like, whatever y'all trying to do, like I feel like, man, just keep going at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Repetition is key for sure.
How do you feel about your success up until this point? I think you can, you know, judge yourself easily as an artist. As anyone making something creative, it's easy to look at the response something gets. Yeah. And or maybe the response something's not getting that you feel like it should be getting. Yeah. So how do you feel sort of in your own journey here? What sort of emotions are you going through when dealing with those outside expectations, or maybe the expectations that you put on yourself? How's that emotional journey sort of for you?
Oh man, honestly, it's been smooth because I know it's coming next. Like, I'm just really confident. Like, what I got next is like, man, like the world need to hear this. So honestly, it's been smooth. Like, and even when I like with my name B.U.G Antman, when I added, because I used to just be Antman, right? And so when I added the B.U.G in front of it, which stands for bringing up greatness, when I put the greatness in front of my name, like, I knew I had to live up to that standard. So early on, like, I always, you know, just trying to get myself ready for the pressure. Like, so right now it don't faze me, bro. Like, I just know, like, I know like the work I put in, you know what I'm saying? I know what the world ready to hear, you know what I'm saying? So
it's tough. I think it's special to feel like that, because a lot of people, you know, are focused so much on the result and putting something out and seeing how many streams does it get first day or first week sales, which I think is so stupid. How do you judge like some of the best projects you come back to months later and listen to it again and think like, oh my God, I was missing so much from this project.
Yeah, it is stupid, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but you know, I don't know,
but a lot of people get drowned and that stuff sort of drowns them out and you know, affects them so much to the point where they lose confidence, and you know, sort of, it's hard to keep making stuff when you feel like it's not getting the recognition and stuff you deserve. And how do you, like, you say you don't necessarily feel that way, you feel you're pretty confident in your stuff, so how do you get to that point where you don't really care about what the outside, you know, noise is or how this is doing, but you're really just making it because you love making music and you're confident in yourself?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's just like you said, it's the confidence. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm passionate about. You know, I know what sounds good at this point. Like, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a good taste in music. If I'm cooking, if I make some shit and I fuck with it, then it's hard. Like, so yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, it's cool though.
Yeah, it's neat to hear this identity that you have. You know, with your colony and with the bag and with the you know, like we sort of talked about, the overall sort of aesthetic that you have. You know, it doesn't feel like just a name. It feels like a statement. It feels like, you know, obviously I think you're trying to express something through that. For sure. Through that sort of persona. What is that statement? What is that? Man. What is that message?
Man, so it's like, you go on, I feel like a lot of times, like, you go on IG or you go on TikTok, a lot of people be judging people in the comments and shit. I shot
all the time.
I shot a video. I dropped we did like a one take for my song Over Knees, right? I had the cosmetics on, right? And I did a I'm going in the comments. He's big ass nose, big ass. Oh, this nigga ugly as fuck. This nigga ugly. I was like, damn, bro. What if this was my real face, bro?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I could get on y'all. Like, I could get like go in the comments and get on all y'all ass like individually, but it's like, bro, y'all just proving my point. Cause my point is like a lot of people ugly on the inside, bro. So. Yeah. That's what I'm really trying to push with the brown paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All this shit don't matter. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it was back to confidence, bro.
Yeah.
Even fashion, I feel like fashion, bro, it's just confidence, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was really shedding light to that shit. But, yeah, it's a lot of ugly motherfuckers, bro. Real shit.
Inside.
On the inside. Hey, however you want to take it. However you want to take it, bro.
So it's almost like, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, as a fan of your music, and when I first discovered you and first saw you, it felt like, and what it said to me, and maybe it means something different for everybody, but it was sort of like ignore what I look like as an artist, ignore sort of the outside perspective that you want to push on me, because everyone looks at artists in different ways. You see some people hate the way that Tyler dresses and look at him and think like, what the fuck is he doing? Or Uzi putting a diamond in his head, like things like that. It's like everybody has an opinion about everything. And the way I took it when I first saw your stuff was that stuff really doesn't matter. It's really just it makes you really focus on the music. Because I'm not looking for anything deeper than I'm focused on just like what is he making? I have nothing else to go. I'm looking at a body in a paper bag. It's like I don't have anything else to go off of. Besides music. That's how I took it, at least. I think it was really interesting. Yeah,
man. Yeah, bro. And that's a crazy way to look at it. Like that's fire.
I don't know if that was intentional or
not. Not really, but no, that's fire, bro.
What came out?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that like you just talked about in the comments, who have opinions on everything, and you see it as maybe not a musician, but in the line like the industry we're in and stuff, doing the media and the as a brand and putting out all different sorts of things. It's like everybody has something to say about everything. I'd be lying if I said it sometimes you don't. I'd be lying if you say you don't read that stuff and it doesn't sometimes I think like affect you, but I think you talk about what I've sort of garnered from you is that you do a really good job at just doing what you like, regardless of what everyone else is thinking, and not addressing everybody individually. On some like KD type shit.
Hell nah, bro.
But just like everybody has their opinion, but you're just gonna keep doing you.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. It's like, bro, all that troll shit, ugly shit, like, bro, y'all just proving my point with this shit. So. But yeah, I feel like sometimes silence is better than like any words.
Yeah. I think it just seems like you have such this confidence for who you are, as a person and as an artist, which is just something that's really hard to come by for artists, because you're just stepping out of the box. You're doing something different. You know what you're getting into. Maybe that's not what you signed up for, but it comes along with it. But a lot of people have this ego, and you don't seem like you have any ego at all. It's very down to earth. Even when we've met here, I know we've been talking for a while, but even when we first linked up here, you'll meet some people who you think are a little bit more reserved or sort of think that their ego just sort of takes over, it takes control. What keeps you grounded from turning into that as an artist, and as you see more successes and things like that come up?
Man, it's like the going rule, bro. Just treat others how you want to be treated, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really that simple, bro. And it's like, this shit like a whole ego death, really, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't even matter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the material things, like, that shit is all just dumb to me, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just really just want to keep it, like, just keep pushing boundaries, bro. Like, whatever I'm doing is, like, inspire the next generation. Like, I feel like that's what my calling is, bro.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Is that something that stemmed from when you like maybe family as a kid, or just sort of someone instilling that confidence in you to do that? Because it's something that even me, like I can't say that I would show up here like you showed up, like it's something that's really might feel natural for you, but it's stepping outside the box for a lot of people. It makes a lot of different people uncomfortable, and they wouldn't do it. So where does that stem from? Is there some sort of influence or person, or maybe that you can speak to, or that helped you feel this type of way about yourself?
Man, honestly, it was like like it's like world. I feel like as an artist, bro, world building is like very important. Like just bring your own world into shit. So
yeah,
the more I keep exploring this ugly era, this ugly phase, it's like, yo, I just want to just keep getting creative with this shit. So like, you know what I'm saying, that's why we had the bag, man. That's why we had this. So
yeah,
but yeah, man, it really all stems down to this, like you said earlier, this confidence, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, like. This shit don't phase me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is it gonna, when you talk about this ugly phase, is it something that you want to continue to adopt, you think, the rest of your career, or something that you're gonna sort of go through with this persona, or is it maybe gonna be? I could see it going in different stages, different, you know, down different avenues. Sort of like, you know how The Weeknd has different. Through his albums has different sort of personas of what he's trying to accomplish. I think is that something that you picture happening for you?
Oh yeah, like each era I want to, you know, I definitely don't want to stick with this forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to keep me not knowing what's next.
That's
like
a good message, I think.
Yeah. Me not knowing, it is a great message. I want to continue to push. Like, actually, after this, we just dropped Y'all Ugly. We finna follow it. Y'all Too Ugly. So like, we're gonna come right back. Because like I said, we had mad songs, and like, I left some project songs off, not because they weren't hard enough, but it just wasn't cohesive. So I feel like this next one, when we drop Y'all Too Ugly, bro, it's gonna be insane. But nah, after that, like, I really explore new era, like a new era type shit. Yeah, but it's gonna be exciting, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. When I listen to your music, now I've told you this, but I always feel like I told you it was like I felt like it was ahead of your time.
Oh, wow.
But I think you've made so many different sounds. Like, you've made projects and albums before that really have multiple different sounds, cadences, different, just like it feels like a collage of different, you know, all different areas. This project in particular, this EP, felt really like, I think the right word is like, it felt like chill. Like, it felt like, you know what I mean? And not that the songs weren't upbeat or anything like that too, but it's just like the production and sort of the things that you were going over all sort of felt like they fit this sort of energy and you know, vibe that you were maybe shooting for with the album. And I think maybe for you, did you feel like that was, as you were putting it together, those sort of things were just coming together naturally for you, that sound, or was it something you really aimed to, you know, accomplish with this project?
Yeah, so I think mainly for me, it's like, man, it's like, so like I was saying before, like, I cook mad songs, so when I work on a project, I like to lock in with just like one producer. So with Frank, man, he was sending me so much crazy shit. So it was like, I gotta slide on this. Like, so I think the sound just came natural, bro. It's really just putting hours in the studio, bro. Just cooking up, trying to craft a new sound, bro. Or, you know what I'm saying, it's a new flow or new voice, whatever it is, and combinations, shit, new ad-libs, like, just trying to keep putting my mind to that, like, keep pushing boundaries with that shit.
I think creative processes are really interesting when I hear from artists, because everybody sort of has their own thing, even though at its base it's like, you know, going in and recording on a mic. Everybody has sort of different processes, and I think it's, you know, creative block is a real thing. I struggle with it sometimes. I think you know, artists struggle with it. So I want to know, you know, as a fan, like, a little bit, what does that creative process look like for you? You know, sort of trying to get into that mental space, emotionally and physically.
Man, so I feel like early on in my career, like when I probably was like 17, 18, I was getting a lot of creative blocks. But then, you know, as I get older and it's more repetition, it's like I got different ways of getting around it now. So, and I never wrote ever. So it's like I'm always just going in at the moment type shit, and it's like saying how I feel like on the mic, or however the beat feeling, or maybe one day I'm like completely sober, I just want to record with my mind clear. One day I'm smacked, you know what I'm saying? I record. It's like two different, you know, this mindsets when I click up. So it's easy for me to turn it on and turn it off type shit.
Does it start with the production though? Like, it starts with, you know, hearing a beat from a producer that you trust, and sort of, you know, locking in with them, and then punching in over it. Is that sort of the process?
Man, I want to go down as I'm gonna go down and have like some of the most best beat selection of all time. Like, so like the beats, that's like number one. Start with the beat type shit.
Yeah.
And then how I'm feeling, like,
Yeah.
then that's how I go in. Really.
What's your relationship with the people that you work with? Production. You talk about Frank. What's
yeah,
that?
Frank, Stacy. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy, bruh. And then gonna be a legend, bro. Like, when the world like really find out about his shit, like, and it's really, I feel like with the next project, Y'all Too Ugly, he's going even crazier on it production wise. So we're excited to get that out. And then out here based in New York, we got Madhouse. It's a collective, man. We got a lot of shits in the work, like, coming out with them. It's like 4 or 5 niggas, bro, and they're fucking all of them the same, bro. They did a lot on my first project, one of my earlier projects, Icy Colors. But yeah, those are my 2 main, I would say. You know, and then in Atlanta you got Backwiz, or Project. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with P9. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hard producers. Mojo, Flip. There's a lot of hard producers out there in LA, of course. Like,
what's it like having the producer in the room for you?
Yeah.
As you're creating something that can be really vulnerable at times, and I know the producer's making art in their own way.
Yeah.
What is that? Do you ever feel any type of reservation, or like you can't be yourself with other people in the studio, whether it's a producer, whether it's, you know, some other engineer, anyone sort of just watching you do what you do? Do you ever feel like it's hard for you to open up and be yourself with other people watching?
Oh man, honestly, I feel like, bro, by yourself is the best way to cook, bro. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, you blocking out everything. You know nobody's just sitting here listening. Or so on the best way, I like to cook up in solitude, to be real. But it don't really faze me. Like, I go to the studio, it don't faze me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might, you know what I'm saying, someone's presence there might give me some ideas or inspire me to say something like I wouldn't say if I was solo. So like I said, I try to just draw anything as inspiration. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Collaboration is a big element that people sometimes frown upon in this industry, is ghostwriting and, oh, he didn't write that, and you know, these sort of things is sometimes frowned upon. But I think it's such a huge element in becoming an artist and who you want to be, is like you're drawing no artist just randomly came up with all these sounds and their sound and their music without being influenced by somebody else, or an artist or someone else in the room, you know? Yeah,
most definitely. No, like, I'll say some of my biggest inspirations, like, definitely is like Atlanta based. Like, you know, you got the Thugs and Futures and Cardi. Lil Key was a major inspiration. Saw Baby, Dua Kane. Like, it's a lot of just fire, just constant. Like, every year some new. You know what I'm saying? Some new heat. So I just want to, you know what I'm saying, contribute to that wave, bro, and just do my part for Atlanta. Like, that's a huge goal of mine. Sure.
Why do you say solitude? You think you can make the best music or some of your best music in solitude? Why does that put you in the right mental state to you know, make your best art?
Man, because now it's just like, yo, I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? Just on the mic though. But it's like, you're not gonna talk to yourself with people in the room. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm by myself, I'm just talking to myself on the mic. I feel like that's the best way to do it, right? Just cook up like that.
You feel like you can be the most vulnerable by yourself like that?
Most definitely.
I think even if it's easy to, you know, cook like that, or, you know, with people around, it's like, even as we're sitting here and there's like other people in the room, obviously it's like, if we're sitting here just by ourselves, would be I think, or, you know, me alone, or just me and you, like, it's gonna be a different, you know, sort of dynamic either way. So those things matter.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just it's crazy how you can put yourself in just simple things like that can put you in such a different creative space to make art and make music.
Nah, most definitely, bro. That's true. That's facts.
Yeah,
that's facts.
I want to talk a little bit more about the inspiration that you just talked about and the people that inspire you, especially being in Atlanta and from Atlanta. There's so many different artists you can pick from that inspire you, and maybe not just Atlanta based, but like we talked about earlier, there's so many sounds coming out of there, and so many, you know, everybody is coming out of Atlanta who is gaining major attention right now. You know, what parts of the city do you see in your music and that sort of shaped who you are as an artist, being from Atlanta?
Man, like, just the randomness. Like, you seen the show Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
It's literally it's just like that, damn near. So it's just like, man, I'm always getting inspired. It's like random shit happening, bro. Random fucking wild ass fucking situations, bro. And like funny ass situations, adventurous. Like, there's a lot of adventures. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's always some shit going on. Like, that shit's always just gonna give me some inspiration, you know. But yeah, I think Atlanta definitely helped mold me, you know, as the artist I am today, just be as a creative, you know what I'm saying? But it's mainly like, you know what I'm saying, like we were saying earlier, the competition that really pushed me to, you know, go that beyond and like over and beyond to get to that point I'm trying to get to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. When you were first making your sound coming out of Atlanta, was there any type of reservation about like, I don't want to sound like this person, or I'm afraid, because there's, like we said, how many different sounds are coming out of there?
Yeah.
I can imagine if I was in that position, I would probably feel like, how do I make something different that's different enough that, you know, doesn't just sound like a clone of somebody else, but is also true to me and the true to the stuff I want to make. You know, did you feel any type of that pressure coming up to separate yourself like that?
Yeah, because even when I was cooking in high school, like, I'll see a lot of niggas go like this way, or it'll be a couple, like, you know, I feel like it's important to find your circle like early on, especially in Atlanta, bro. And it's like, or if it's a small team, or if it's one nigga, like, bro, honestly, I could start cooking up with me and my boy 8, like, we really kind of you know what I'm saying, molded this shit together, bro. So it's like, you find your circle, keep it small, and but, you know, make sure you with the team that's going the other way, not that way, trying to rap like everybody else, trying to do what everybody else trying to do. Find your circle and go the other way, and just start forming your own wave, and watch how they start coming and try to do what y'all do. So like, that's early on, man. I always knew that, so I always try to like stand, like, set myself apart.
From everybody else. Yeah. Did you have a lot of friends in growing up and in Atlanta that made music, or were you sort of an outlier between everybody else?
Yeah, I always surrounded myself with musicians, like, especially I say, like, starting in high school. I always, you know, started surrounding myself with musicians that man, I remember in high school I was on auto-tune shit, and niggas was hating on me for using auto-tune, bro. Really? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? But
like, that's not his voice.
It's too much auto-tune and shit. But now, look at now, like, that's the fucking wave. And now I see niggas hating on the AI shit. Yeah. I've been experimenting with some AI a lot, and some of my more recent shit.
You know what I don't like about the auto-tune argument is that, like, not everybody can sound good with auto-tune. Yeah. That's what people think. You can put auto-tune on and just like tweak your voice, and it sounds like, and then I can make the type of music this person make, like Travis makes, but you can't. It's like that's part of like, it's tuned specifically to your voice, I feel like, and it's like making always something unique versus just grouping it into auto-tune.
But that's where AI comes into play now. Now you don't gotta have a voice. You can have someone else's voice. Yeah. So, as I said, bro, I've been experimenting with the AI shit, but I'm gonna find a wave, you know what I'm saying, to really push with it. But I'm still working at some shit, but it's exciting, bro. Yeah. That's it.
It must be really neat to grow up in an environment where you're already surrounded with creatives like that. Yeah. I didn't, and I eventually, you eventually find that circle from being in the industry and find those people that you can relate to. But it's a really different experience having to figure sort of a lot of that stuff out on your own, where it almost like, I've talked to artists too who, are from smaller towns, from, places where it's not necessarily frowned upon, but people aren't doing a whole lot in the creative box. Yeah. So it's hard to tap into that creativity all by yourself, where you feel like nobody's really doing that other thing. So, but hearing from you, like, it really must be inspiring to have other people around you who, like, know what you don't have to fully explain yourself to anybody. Everyone sort of knows. You don't have to explain this persona or this identity to people who are artists. They get it because they're artists.
Yeah. I mean, some people still don't get it, like, but I feel like, man, just keep working towards, like, your vision, and it's like, keep putting out your content. Like, eventually they're gonna catch on, bro. Like, that's what anything creatively. So yeah, I always knew. I knew, like, even if some people don't get it now, like, I know years down the line, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna come back and be like, oh shit, this nigga on some different shit. Like, I was asleep. You know what I'm saying? So
and like we talked about, it's a lot of first week sales and things like that. Like a lot of stuff it blows up years later. There's so many people who were putting out music for a long time before they even got discovered.
Facts,
Juice, like I think about, having stuff on
yeah.
SoundCloud that people don't even know about, and then
Fucking
Lucid
hits on
Dreams
SoundCloud.
becoming the biggest song in the world.
Yeah.
Like things like that are so, you can't predict that stuff, and it's just you have to keep doing it because you want to do it, and because it, you love it and it means something to you.
100%.
Music can play a big part in people's identities, we've talked about, and being therapeutic for people. Some of the tracks on this EP, and not just the EP, but a lot of music you've made, doesn't just feel like you're rapping. It feels almost like you're unloading this emotion and these thoughts and feelings into them.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah,
that's facts. Like, yeah, man, I try to not make it such standard, like, oh, it's rap, like, he's just rapping on this shit. Like, nah, I'm trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, put a lot of more emotion, put a lot of more, you know what I'm saying, this thought into shit I'm releasing now. So, nah, that's the shit that's gonna last, right,
Yeah.
So
that really speaks to people more than trying to come up with, talking about how much money you have and all this all those sort of superficial things I don't think can be as timeless. I mean, there's a time and place for it, but I think,
don't get me wrong, I still cut that shit, like, just because I know people would still want to turn up, people still want, get lit, but I think just finding the twist of doing that and adding just the creative to it, the new flow, new voice, or this new shit to talk about in it, like, that's what's gonna take shit out of here.
Yeah, but even that stuff can be unloading that sort of emotion, just because it's talking about confidence. It can be confidence that you're talking about. You might be feeling really,
most definitely.
After this show, after you just did the show at SOBs, you could be like feeling yourself right now and feeling like, I'm gonna go back and make some like fire.
Oh yeah, I know I'm gonna go home and cook some shit.
Yeah, about like my experience and about me really feeling like I'm doing this. I don't think it's all a negative. Connotation to it.
No, most definitely.
Do you think? Does it feel like? Do you feel any type of responsibility towards putting music out that people can relate to, or is it just something that you really, put out for yourself because it's it's sort of what you're feeling at the time and how you make your best art, or does it ever feel like I'm responsible for, putting stuff out that people can relate to?
Right now it doesn't. But I know it will once I start getting like a more larger fan base, and like it's it's gonna be like a lot of younger
people looking up to you,
up to me. It's like now I'm gonna start feeling that responsibility to where it's like, okay, but I never just want to get. Nothing is ever gonna like sting. Whatever the fuck I want to say, like creatively, I'm gonna say that on the track. Like, so nothing. I'm never gonna let anything, steer me away from just doing what I want on the song. But I feel like definitely as the colony grows, and it's you know what I'm saying.
Does it scare you to think about it becoming? I know that's what every artist wants. Yeah. It's like every artist wants that big fan base. Everybody wants that. But does any part of you, does it scare you to think about all the responsibility that comes with getting that big and getting that fan base? Or you embrace it?
I embrace it, bro. I'm here for it. Like I said, like I want to see the colony grow, like so we can all move as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Move as one. You know what I'm saying? Now we all just like. If I'm inspire a whole wave, now they about to, you know what I'm saying, they can do their own thing and inspire the people like that look up to them. So, that shit doesn't scare me, man. I'm excited. Like, I'm hyped, bro. I can't wait for this shit, bro. Hell yeah.
The last thing I want to touch on is what does success look like to you since you've started? Because I know there was a moment where you started, where you put out your first song, where nobody knew you, where none of this was going on, where you put out, a song, and I think your definition, I know mine has. I think your definition from when you start to where you are now, of success really changes. So what does success mean to you, in 2025 in the state you're in right now?
Man, just being able to express myself creatively, like whether it's visuals or like I said, doing this shit or the songs, like man, even performing, like just being able to express myself, bro. That's that's success to me. Like, just being the most creative as I can, like, and inspiring. Like, mainly it's inspiring people, like more people that I can inspire. Like, I see that as success. Like, that's a win for me. Success, you know. That's what I see as success. But not a material shit. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but it's not. It's not really. It's not really like a main goal of mine. You know what I'm saying? Why I do this, like.
It's more about expressing yourself and a feeling.
Yeah.
Than any type of monetary number, you know, success in that.
Type shit, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really changed. I think from the beginning of when I started, you look so much about response and so much about, like, you know, I want to get to this point, whether it's a following or like what, right? But I think once you start to experience some of that stuff and you hear people talk about it so often, once they do reach some sort of success, whatever that might mean, that definition really does change, I think, of really just trying to, you know, once you've achieved some of the things you want to, you get to a spot of like, it's not really about that number anymore. It's just like, I'm having the best time doing exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it.
Yup. 100%, bro. 100%.
Before we go, I try to end every interview. I want you to give some sort of advice to anybody who might want to do what you want to do. Is trying to get started, might be going through some of those different things we've talked about, you know, the outside expectation, you know, people looking at them a funny way for being different, and just trying to create their own lane in their artistry. What advice do you have to anybody starting out like that?
Man, look, so like I would say, first of all, like I said earlier, just find your circle, you know what I'm saying? Find your team, and it's like really just build your own world, bro. I feel like that's the best route to take it, bro. Even if it's early on, you just getting started, start early. Start building your world early. Find a name to call your fan base, you know what I'm saying? Start community channels, you know what I'm saying? Start getting active with them, you know what I'm saying? And man, just like make sure you keep pushing out content, bro. Whether it's, you know, I know a lot of, like, sometimes like the bread could be an issue, but man, learn to shoot that shit yourself, bro. Like, niggas making shit on the phone, there's really no excuse, honestly, bro. Like, you keep making excuses for yourselves, like, shit ain't never gonna go nowhere. So like, just try to especially early on, just try to get around. You gonna make a lot of fuck ups, like everybody, like, you know what I'm saying, I made a lot of fuck ups. Like, our favorite artists made fuck ups early on, but you know what I'm saying, just keep your head down, just keep locking in. And then don't worry about how you looking. Like, I'm doing this shit, I'm ugly as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about how you looking, bro. It's like, anybody can do this shit. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah,
for sure.